What's on the background? I imagine it'll be Scion, and the fact that it flipped to Silas at the last second. Oh, man. So I'm trying to look at the champion port. That is a massive model. Yes, that is Scion. That is a big old axe as well. Robo is on Scion duty right now. So how does that shake things out for you?
Yeah, so Scion makes a lot more sense. That's sort of what we were assuming. Now, the way this shakes things out is that here it is going to be in this scaling and advantageous 1v1 and slowly start winning the side lane, which means it's going to put pressure on Loud to try to be more aggressive on the bottom side to get an advantage for Root and Seos or on for Tinones. Now, the good thing is Scion, you know what you can do? You can base, you can ult bot, and boom, you can win the game just off that play. So they have the tools to be able to do it, but the pressure, I think, is on Loud to get an advantage on the bottom side more so than it is on Los Grandes because of that scaling Gwen.
Yeah, you've got other options, right? Tinones, he's on this Syndra. Not a pick that we have seen too much in CBLOL so far. I think this is just its third game. First one for Tinones. But Tinones is a guy that's been playing competitive League of Legends at the highest level as long as Syndra has been in the game, pretty much. For those who keeping score at home, that's almost a decade. This dude has been there, done that. He has probably played enough Syndra games to make a man sick in his career. So he knows what he's doing on this champion. She scales a little bit better into the late game with her recent kind of mini rework. She's not quite as tethered to the early game as she used to be.
Wait a minute, 4x4. I want to talk about this. The Syndra definitely still very strong, but Croc skipping the red buff, solo starting Raptors, and now on the bottom side of the map. This is a really interesting path that I've not really seen any junglers do. I wonder if we're going to see an early invade on the red, but generally you want your own red buff to be able to fight for those camps. So we'll have to keep our eyes on what Croc is up to, whether it's an early bot gank, early invade, or maybe just early reset. But this is an interesting one. Sorry to cut you off, but I think it's important to track.
Oh, yeah. No, and I'm glad you did because, yeah, I mean, like Croc might be a little earlier to the lane, but now that it's pushing and two Vision Ward, two Stealth
Wards, it's going to reverse back to top.
Yeah, have been placed in that pixel brush, and now Croc is doubling back, which seems to kind of defeat the purpose of whatever he was going for, right? Like, you sacrifice the red buff at the cost of, okay, I'm going to get down there maybe a little sooner, right? Maybe it's a level 2 gank, which would be surprising, but like you said, in today's meta, and with the bot lane being so important, junglers kind of just path top to bottom, and it's who can get that level 3 gank off first and fighting over those camps, right? You need that red buff for those auto attacks, and Vi can do that with the best of them because you know you're probably going to run into the enemy jungler at some point.
So my guess is they don't want Robo to have to leash, and Vi can't really solo start red. So what they want to do is they want to cover bot for Ranger potentially 3 camping Raptors, red, Krugs, ganking bot. Then when that one doesn't go down, Croc can path back up to the top side. It means he'll have his red buff for longer and maybe threaten a bit of a cheese gank onto Hirit, who has no flash, to sort of delay this Gwen scaling and give Robo better leverage in the one-on-one. But no, Croc just going to hover back around mid again. I'm so interested in this pathing. I've really not seen this, and it feels very inefficient from Croc, but it does mean Ranger now first into the river with control. Loud. Is there going to be a fight around this bot crab? Bot lane's getting aggressive.
Yeah, something's going down here. Natuno is out of mana. Root and Sales returning fire. Zay taking the business end of that mantra, or the mantra Q there. Now Ranger has shown up. He walked right over a ward, and they know where he is, but Croc not opting to shadow, knowing that his lane will be safe. The wave was in an okay spot, and the trade actually came out okay for the side of Loud. Robo low, Hirit looking like that wave might push in his favor. But yeah, Croc, it's been a really, I think interesting and inefficient are about the most kind of, the most accurate things we can say right now about the jungle pathing.
So my other thought is that what it could be is Croc wants to be around mid as much as possible. You can see how frequently he's been shadowing Tinones, fearing an early gank from Ranger, and with Maokai Flash W, it's guaranteed flash blown off of Tinones, if not a guaranteed kill, because of how aggressive Tristana lanes can be, how much damage and mobility that champion has. So maybe that's the read, but either way, Ranger just deciding to play the early game slower and play more for control has looked like he's come out on top in the early pathing. Getting first base means he will have a timer to make a play, potentially onto Robo with the stacking wave. Now, Loud will know it's coming. Croc is in the area.
Croc is hovering. Robo has no mana and not much more health. Hirit not doing much better in the health department, to be fair, either. The old Western standoff takes place here. Everyone knows exactly where everyone is. There are no secrets in this one. Here comes the crash. Croc is hovering again. Robo taken low, but there goes the flash in from Croc. Bros a flash from Ranger. Robo low. Boots a minion into Ranger. So close. There goes the W. Getting a little bit of extra MR and resistances. Robo with another auto attack. Taking a big old Q. Croc in there. Gets jumped on immediately. Here it and Ranger with a phenomenal outplay in the 2v2. Swallow up Croc and get themselves first blood. Here it might not be done just yet. He hit level 6 in that fight. There's the R1. There's the R2. Gwen is online, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh my word. Los Grandes is just too damn good. We talk about facilitating your lanes. Look, that was a great counter gank from Croc to be able to defend that dive. But the outplay from Ranger and Hear It is just insane.
That was phenomenal. That is a masterclass right there because you can't really fault Loud for too much on this. They just got outplayed.
I mean, just look at this. Ranger gets taken so low, and I'm just waiting for Croc's Q to come back up. But Ranger buffers the Twisted Advance, dodges it, heals off of the Sap Magic passive, and then gets Hear It the kill. Not only that, but Hear It is going to level the 6 off the kill with the reset on Ghost and run down Robo. That is just unbelievably well played, limit testing, whatever the hell you want to call it, from Los Grandes. Croc is going to get a dragon on the bottom side, so Loud is still finding advantages. But look, last game we saw Gwen get really fed and not be able to carry. I'm thinking here it's in a pretty good position to carry this game, though, 4x4.
Yeah, he is in just as good a spot to carry the game. I just trust what I've seen from Los Grandes more than what I've seen from VOK.
And we're talking about Gwen is going to win in isolation now. Now top is doomed, right? Like, Robo, good luck in esports, buddy. We are going to leave you. If we're Loud, we just have to try to play through bot because top is unwinnable. But you can't win through bot when Seos gets taken low.
Sweet mercy. He is within an inch of his life, less than 50 health. Lava going for the all in there on a Tinones, knocks him right into Ranger, who's got the Twisted Advance on him, gets the slow. Couple more autos might do it. There's the bounce forward, sapling down, flash. Thank you very much. 4 kills now for Los Grandes. It is all bad.
Los Grandes just picking their windows. The one time Croc's not around mid, they pull the trigger and take down Tinones. Meanwhile, on the bottom side, okay, Root getting a kill, but will die.
Yeah, and you know what? That was close enough. If he gets like maybe 2 more autos there onto Natuno, that could be history. Who else is level 6? That's Croc. He's getting a shutdown there on the Visor. Return kill. Root taking matters into his own hands in that one.
All right, well, they answer back by Los Grandes. They are already reacting to the play, never wanting to let anything go for free. They're going to get the Herald. Los Grandes holding all the cards in this game. I mean, now you can't play through bot, right? Natuno has 2 kills. It's so difficult for Loud. At this point, you're looking at numbers advantages. Just 8.5 minutes into the game with a 2,500 gold lead. Herald in pocket. It's just Los Grandes having a beautiful early game.
And this is what we praised them for yesterday against Kaboom. Because even though Kaboom drafted themselves into a hole yesterday against Los Grandes, both teams, but Los Grandes specifically, they were just, their rotations and their decision-making was so quick, so fluid. It's some of the best macro that we have seen, that I've seen in the CBLOL, just period. I mean, it's phenomenal. Everyone is ahead. Look at that gold graph. This is Stardust coaching coming into full form, man.
It's just, I mean, what an early game from Los Grandes. And now with no flash on Tinones, he has to play so respectfully. That's going to give pressure to Lava in mid. Now they can move Lava and Ranger down to the bottom side with this Herald. Loud, they are looking to try to contest this. Croc is hovering in the area, but with the insane amount of pressure they have in mid, it means Los Grandes will always be first to the play with 4 members, and they've got plenty of time to set up for this.
Yeah, Dragon not going to be up for a while either. Like you said, it's all about that Herald play. They've got that in their pockets, up 2,000 gold. The items are kind of even right now. Got a couple members kind of sitting on some standing gold. Ranger, though, he is already on that Demonic Embrace. Such a huge spike for these early game AP champions. The Amumu, which was taken off the board, loves that item, that rush, first off the rip. Now Ranger maybe looking for something there in the mid lane. Like you said, Tinones with no flash has to play really, really respectfully, and Tinones knows that. This is not his first time around the block, but with that, with the Nature's Grasp there, able to drop the Herald, going to get a lot of value out of this.
So I do want to give some credit to Loud, though. They had a really good ward that spotted Ranger on this play, which meant that Tinones was able to play very safe, and there was no threat in bot, unless it's just another 2v2.
Route barely able to sidestep that tidal wave. If that goes down, that might have been curtains for him. Natuno had plenty of mana to be able to do something there. Seos dropped the Ignite, but all summoners down. Loud and Seos, or Seos and Root now, excuse me, on a combined probably 1,200 health there. But yeah, no, you pointed out that ward. Tinones, right? That's his veteran experience showing up, but his team set him up well, right? And they knew that, look, this could be a bully point. If Lava gets ahead now, right? You get those two solo laters ahead, right? A potential 1-3-1. That taking down Tinones and creating an advantage for Lava was the final piece in the puzzle, the final Infinity Stone in the gauntlet, and they knew we cannot let this happen.
Exactly, and most importantly, too, it means that Loud doesn't have to overcommit members to any lane to defend the Herald play because they know where Ranger is. They know that Ranger isn't going towards bot. They know he's going towards mid, so it's like, hey, Tinones play safe under tower. They can't outright dive you, and then we can look to control the river. It means that Los Grandes is not able to get that four-person play, and even though they've taken 4 plates off this mid tower, like, it's not like it's a good thing for Loud. They're able to not give up a kill and an entire tower, which I think, considering how poorly the early game went, that is a win for this squad, and will give them now a window to try to get back into this game with Los Grandes not having any extremely major playmaking tools currently on the table.
Yeah, it's just Ranger right now. That's your big playmaking tool because your jungler is on that just horrifying, putting the demonic in demonic embrace indeed. These AP beefy junglers. Yeah, and then you've got an AD carry on 2 items right now, or on mythic item, excuse me. But everybody else kind of keeping the CS even, right? Here goes potentially the all-in. Lava going forward. Now, Croc is 3 levels down, but that is still a 2v1. Tinones looking for the all-in there. The power unleashed. Very nicely done. Getting a kill back there onto Lava. Croc sets it up for Loud.
All right, it is a mistake coming out from Los Grandes and a nice punish from Croc right there. Lava jumping in with his jungler on a reset. But even in the 3v4, you gotta be careful, Loud.
Oh, man, Croc maybe biting off more than he could chew. There goes the tidal wave. The chain CC is just too nasty. Robo in over the wall now. He didn't TP. He took the scenic route. Natuno able to pick a kill on the route there. Loud coming out behind in this fight so far, but Los Grandes taken low. Ranger doing what he can in the front line. Robo takes up so much space in that back line. He might be what bails out his team in this one. Twisted advance forward, follows Robo into that back line and allows Natuno to pick up the kill there onto Seos. 3 for 1 for Los Grandes and a dragon to boot.
And once again, Loud, they get the initial kill, but that's so many of their tools gone. Croc starting up the dragon before his bot lane can arrive. That's the power of the Lucian Nami. Los Grandes up 5K.
And like you said, we were just praising Croc for a really good play, right? And punishing a little bit of over-aggression from Lava, which that has been, I think, the one knock that I could give him in his time in CBLOL. The dude's good, and he knows that, and he takes a lot of risks, but they do get punished a lot of the times. Croc starting up this dragon early, and eventually Loud are able, or Los Grandes, able to take this fight.
Yeah, and even with the Scion arriving, it's still so hard to fight. This was essentially a 3v5 over the course of some time that Los Grandes was able to win, and it's just because no one is able to touch Natuno. You can see how he kites it out so fluidly. Robo actually killing his team with the flashback and the twisted advance. Seos gets dropped. Robo gets forced out. And, I mean, it's just a mistake from Loud, really. Croc, I've been there. Look, I have been there. You get the play. It's like, oh, right, we finally got a win. We can take a neutral objective. We're back in the game, baby. But starting up the dragon, you can see how far away his bot and mid were. They weren't actually in any sort of position to contest that play. So he gets taken down immediately, and Los Grandes, they just punish so beautifully.
Yeah, and when you're behind, right, you got to take your little wins where you can get them, right? And it's not that maybe you can't, like, you can maybe contest that, but don't start it, right? Like
yeah,
said,
right. You got to wait for your lanes. Exactly. You got to wait for your team to 5v4 instead of 4v4, right?
Yeah, like just put yourself in the best opportunity possible. This is about damage control right now for Loud, and in spurts, they've done that really well, right? Lava took that trade with Ranger on a reset, and you were able to punish that. Great. Guess where Ranger's going to be 10 seconds after a reset? Right up in your grill, Croc.
Right. Yeah. I mean, and that's exactly it. And again, Natuno controlling this bottom wave so well. 4-1-1, pretty even. on CS, but this Lucian is just going to be such an insane threat, building towards the Navori quick blades right now, and can be built a second item. Of course, we are on 13.1B, and now Ranger in deep, but who is flanking who?
Oh my goodness, Sayo's going to take the entirety of the calling route, trying to get the damage down onto Zay. Lava able to pick up a kill. It's 2 more for Loud. They are up now 6,000 gold. They are walking away with this game, not even running away from it. Seems like they're taking their time. Now, Tinones, yeah, they couldn't outright dive you last time, but maybe they could here. Tinones has to blow the flash, retreat to the tier 2. Natuno, aw, you love to see that. An 80 carry sacrificing for their support. 2023, everybody. We love that.
You love to see, you know, hey, I would take a bullet for you, bro. That's what Natuno said to
You've
Zay,
taken
and,
so many for me. Let me take one.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the support's job, right? Die for the 80 carry. So Zay's rather Natuno's like, all right, hey man, like it's my turn. Let me be the homie. But I mean, mid tower falls, Herald falls, top tower falls. It's all Los Grandes in this game. Last time, 4x4, I might have called the game a little too early in vivocade's favor. Kaboom was able to come back.
Oh, don't do it again.
Los Grandes, though, I think they're a bit of a better team than Vivocade. And 8,000 gold up in 16 minutes. I've got a pretty good feeling about this one. I think they are going to improve to 7-1.
It's certainly looking like it. Loud, if this game does go the way it's looking like it will right now, Loud going to drop down to 4-4. Again, it's there's no shame in losing to Los Grandes, but with the middle of the table looking as mucky, the soup of the middle of the CBLOL right now is frothy. I mean, it is just full. It is a stew. It is a gumbo, right? It is just so...
We truly have a very appetizing gumbo. After Los Grandes presumably gets to 7-1 with this one, nobody will be within 2 games, especially if Red wins later. It is quite a soup. And hey, that's just what I feel like makes the CBLOL so fun to watch is, yeah, you got some teams like Los Grandes, they're just tearing up the competition. They're fun to watch because they're playing good League of Legends. But when the soup goes up against each other, you just never know what's going to happen. And that, I feel like, makes for a fun league.
Yep. No, couldn't agree with you more. That's half the reason I love this league. Yeah, yes, I was born in the country, so that gives me some affinity towards it. But as a spectator, man, as a neutral, it is a ton of fun to watch, and especially, you know, the context in the bottom of the table, even, right? You got teams like, as this Herald getting way so much value. I'm going to pause my point here. Croc going in, and this looks just a lot like what we saw last game, man.
Your point.
It was a Vi from behind trying to make plays when the rest of the team isn't ready to do so, and it goes exactly how we think it will. Los Grandes, a better team indeed than Vivocade Star. The kind of serious, searing analysis that you come to the CBLOL English channel for. Los Grandes, gigantesco. Absolutely massive, wiping the defending champions off the map.
Wow, this is brutal, 4x4. I mean, Croc, we've seen a lot of bad Vi ults today. I think I'm just going to say it. We've seen some bad Vi ults. Gets just dragged so far into the enemy team. Yeah, hate to see it. Again, Croc, I feel for you. Jungle player myself, right? Much worse than you, but I feel for you. I mean, the replay is going to come up. You can just see it. Croc tries to find the heroic play. Ults lava, but the rocket jump into 5, and from that point on, you're down 10,000 gold. It's just not winnable. But as we were saying, I mean, look, as a newfound CBLOL fan this year, myself, right, first year on the broadcast, this league, it truly has been a treat to watch these teams. It feels like they are playing every game with nothing held back, and that's a hell of a lot of fun.
That is certainly true. That is certainly true. It is all gas, no brakes south of the equator here. It is it is always a good time. Speaking of all gas, no brakes, that engage there, right, from Croc, he had Rowboat behind him.
Yeah.
And traditionally, you draft a Vi into, you know, a Lucian Nami, just oversimplifying the, you know, the draft analysis into, you know, things like Zeri. That's why Vi came back into popularity. It was not because of Arcane. It was because she can get onto these mobile 80 carries. Hang on a second. Ranger actually caught out here, is looking for some sort of flank, but Loud played the death brush. He's too big. It's like you said, Hawk, who is flanking who? Good Lord, that is just disrespectful. 16 kills right now, double digits for Natuno. That's not even the Fed Gwen, man. Try as they might, Loud just getting rinsed right now.
Ranger showing why you should not fight a tree in the jungle because he has got friends. Not other trees, but in fact a Tristana and a Lucian. That can just come one-shot everybody. Netunio just going to blow up Root. I mean, 4x4, there's no way they end right here, right? The death timers, I think they're too short, but they're going to take a second inhibitor at 20 minutes. They're going to be able to recall, drop back to Baron, maybe even take a third inhibitor. Los Grandes, they've got full run of the map.
Yep, Los Grandes, again, for all the aggression that they show and for all the early and mid-game fluidity that they do show, they play a very controlled and intelligent late game. True LCK style. Again, Stardust, former T1 coach, took him to the semifinals of Worlds 2 years ago in 2021. That is the guy helming Los Grandes right now. He was the guy that knew Hirit and Lava. He had a relationship with them beforehand, and in talking to Ranger, I think Stardust had coached in the CBLOL beforehand. I got to double check that. But went over to T1, made a name for himself, came back, had pre-existing relationships with these two solo laners, and convinced the rest of Los Grandes, said, look, we want to make a splash in this league, right? We've got full acquisition of this slot right now that we got from Flamengo. Let's go, dude.
Right.
And so it's one thing to have just Korean imports come in, but with a pre-existing synergy and relationship with a coach that is also Korean, that has been in this region before, it was a perfect recipe for Los Grandes.
And 4x4, maybe you could shed some light on sort of the Portuguese situation with this. But, I'm from North America, right? And being from NA, oftentimes imports are such a hot topic. Like, whether or not we should be fostering local talent or imports or whatever. But as a viewer, it feels like imports like Lava and Hirit are exactly the right kind of imports. The ones that come to your league and they just elevate the level of play for the whole league and force everybody else to level up. I'm thinking of players like Impact or Core JJ or Berserker in North America, right? That did the exact same thing. They came in and they forced everybody around them to be better. And it feels like Hirit and Lava are doing the same thing because god damn, Los Grandes is so good.
I mean, you haven't seen health bars go down that quickly in a professional game in a long, long time. But I think you hit the nail right on the head here, as this game, with all due respect, is a bit of a formality. 14K at 22 minutes. It looks like
I think it might just be over on this push.
Yeah, I think it wasn't on the last one. Like you said, they're going to reset, take Baron. But yeah, look, every top laner in Brazil is getting better by playing against guys like Hirit and Lonely. And
Lonely.
Every mid laner is getting better by playing against Lava, right?
Yeah.
And and it's not like they've forsook Brazilian talent either, because it is a similar balance, right? Netuno, he's in his second year in the league. He hasn't, he's been on good teams, but it feels like he's finally shining. Zay, in his first year in the league, what a phenomenal learning environment for him. Now last stand here for Robo. Netuno just kiting this fight back so well. We've seen some really good Lucian play in these couple first games here, Hawk, and it has been, finally he goes down. It's a shutdown for the ghost of Robo past. But yeah, Los Grandes, I'm trying to find new ways to say it, man. This team is just straight up good, and that is what you can hope. If you're a Los Grandes fan, you're stoked that your team is good. If you're a fan of the rest of CBLOL, what you want out of this is the rest of the league getting better, because they're playing against such stiff, well-coached